Hey, welcome to AniManCo 9000, a channel where we talk about content related to anime, manga, and other types of media. In this video, we'll be discussing about how dub is often compared with sub, especially within the United States. Let's get started. So, what do I mean by sub and dub? Well, sub is short for subtitling, where the original voice actor's audio dialogue is translated and displayed as text on screen, while dub means the original audio is replaced with a new recording of voice actors delivering the lines in a different language. In this case, we will be obviously referring to the classic debate between the English dub language and the English subtext. Now, if you happen to be one of those viewers who enjoy watching anime through dub, but your friends who are watching with you usually prefer sub, they might give this kind of look. Or maybe this one. Maybe in a more but unlikely exaggerated look, this one. Why is that the case? Well, it's no secret. For the longest time, dub has gained an infamous reputation of being seen in a bad light by the anime community. Some would think it's just not as good as the original audio, or just plain bad in general. And the reason behind it can come down to these two factors. First up, let's get a good look at the voice actors in Japan. So the reason why many prefer to watch anime through the sub version is because of the amazing voice talent that comes from Japan's voice actors and actresses, or sayu as they are called, and they are known to specialize in voice acting for anime, video games, and other media. But unlike in the US, in order for them to be selected and become highly skilled professionals, they have to undergo rigorous training. What's more, in order to give off that authentic representation of a character, Japan's voice actors would work closely with animators and directors to ensure that their voices match the character's visual design, personality, and emotion. And because anime is originally in Japan, many of the voice actors are familiar with these characters that they will be voicing and able to resonate with them. Honestly, it baffles me at how incredible they are at their ability to bring these characters to life through their voice. Especially for voice actors who have been playing certain characters for most of their lives, such as Misako Nozawa, who voiced Goku from Dragon Ball, and Mayumi Tanaka, who voiced Monkey D. Luffy from One Piece. Not to mention how the voice actor's vocal range can make each character they played sound almost unrecognizable with each other. Like, even if you know the voice actor who is playing these characters, it's easy to forget that they are being voiced by the same person. For example, if you were to tell me that Kontano Mitsushi voiced both Usagi from Sailor Moon and Bo Hancock from One Piece, or Hiro Shimono voiced both Dabi from My Hero Academia and Zenitsu from Demon Slayer, I initially wouldn't believe you until I searched them up myself, considering how both characters voiced by their respective VAs are different in personality, tone, and attitude. With that in mind, it's not hard to see why these voice actors are revered for what they do. Next, let's go over the possible issues when anime was initially distributed in the US. While a few anime series were introduced in the 1980s, it didn't gain mainstream popularity for US marketing until the 1990s. During that time, a lot of companies such as Saban, Viz Media, Funimation, and 4Kids Entertainment were created, licensing any anime series they can acquire. But acquiring such anime series can lead to many challenges. In these circumstances, a lot of heavy editing. And this is where I believe people start to show discontent with the dubbing. Besides the occasion of removing blood or anything that could be too mature towards younger audience, there comes the issue with the translation process. Now, unless you've been living in Japan for most of your life, you probably wouldn't understand what the characters are saying without the English subtitles. As such, many of the anime series that have been acquired within the US always have to be translated into English format. But with no direct translation for words and the alphabet used is completely different with each line, it's difficult to properly translate the entire dialogue into English. Also, while the lip movement in Western cartoons perfectly replicates what the voice actors are saying in real life, the lip movement in anime, well, it's a little bit less fluent, which makes it a lot difficult to lip sync what each character is trying to say. And this brings up another issue. Due to the setbacks such as possible poor translations, editors had to change out the dialogue or create new ones completely, which can lead to undesirable results. This could cause one scene to make less sense, cause the entire plot to deviate, making it less faithful to the original script, or completely change the genre entirely. One such examples can be the infamous jelly donut scene from Pokemon, and how ghost stories went from a horror genre to, a black comedy one. Additionally, there are moments where extra dialogue will be added when the characters are not even talking, which honestly not only is unnecessary, but it would ruin the mood that, it was originally supposed to give off, or, just so weird it's very hard to listen to. And if that wasn't enough, there's also the issue that comes with the English voice cast. While the US has no shortage of famous voice actors such as Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy during the late 90s and early 2000s, remember, some of the companies that license anime just started up and, are small in comparison during that time, which means they can only pay so much and hire enough actors to fill in certain roles. And some of these voice actors aren't going to be 100% perfect when voicing different characters, as sometimes their voices just don't match up with the character's overall design, and they can either sound too bland or, just don't convey enough emotion to make the characters feel alive. The best case example of what I've been saying is how the editors who worked in 4Kids TV worked on One Piece. It was bad. Really bad. I think it nearly ruined the series. With these kinds of work, it's no wonder why dub is looked down upon. Yet, despite all these setbacks, we cannot dismiss dubbing in general. As we move up to the early 2000s, where programs such as Toonami would air various anime series, there are the rare occasions where the dub version of the series can turn out to be good. Such examples are Naruto, Dragon Ball, and Yu Yu Hakusho. And while you may argue with the fact that some of these English voice casts aren't as good compared to the ones from Japan, they have at least gotten better since they first started. Take a look at the voice casts who worked at Crunchyroll and Netflix. They've shown just how much voice acting has improved over the years. Once they find their own style of acting, become more comfortable in the field, and given the right amount of dialogue that can drive the story but still remain to the source, they become professionals in their own right. You can almost tell based on how some series had to be redubbed, such as, again, One Piece, Sailor Moon, and Dragon Ball. Get used to it, you're likely going to be hearing them a lot. Even back then, there have been plenty of good voice actors and actresses who are veterans at this point. Such examples are Sean Schemmel, Christopher Sabat, Justin Cook, Colleen Clickenberg, John Young Bosch, Stephen Plum, and most of the cast from Critical Role / Legend of Vox Machina. Plus, while this may be surprising to hear, there have been plenty of times where the dub can be superior to sub. Don't believe me? Watch these series besides One Piece and Dragon Ball: Solo Leveling, Gurren Lagann, Fullmetal Alchemist, and some of the Ghibli movies like Spirited Away. Furthermore, after getting used to the dub version when watching anime, there are at times where the character's design fits more with the English voice cast. So while I do respect Mizaku for voicing Goku for the longest time, Sean's voice fits more perfectly with Goku's current visual design. Overall, by the end of the day, whether you are a dub watcher or not, you can't deny the fact that voice acting for English dub has made a lot of progress. And as it turns out, watching anime through the dub version can be just as entertaining as watching it through the sub version. While you may still debate about whether or not dub can be good as sub, really it depends on the dialogue and how well the voice actors and actresses are able to perform as they voice different characters. Okay, that's about it within this video. Hope you enjoy. Please leave a comment down below, and if you would like to hear more about content related to anime, manga, and other types of media, like and subscribe.